Hello, everyone, and welcome to Travel Week webinars. My name is Megan Griffith, and I'm the Marketing and Production Specialist here with Travel Week. Today, we have a very exciting webinar for all of you talking about the warm weather and the paradise of Loreto, Baja California Sur. Before I introduce our panelists today, I just want to remind all of you agents a couple of housekeeping items. If you have any questions you'd like addressed, make sure to put them in the question and answer box and we'll be able to address them towards the end of the webinar. If you have any technical issues, make sure to put that in the chat, or if you'd just like to say hello to our panelists today, that's fine as well. And today we have a very exciting prize we'll be giving away. So agents who stay until the end will be entered for that. And our panelists will let us know more about that. So now I can get to introducing Jesús Ordóñez, the Managing Director of Visit Baja California Sur. Hello, Jesús, how are you doing today?
Hi, Megan. I'm great. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you and the audience, all the travel agents and Travel Week. Thank you very much for letting us be here. We're very excited. And as you mentioned, we're happy to be sharing with you guys information about this wonderful destination where the weather will be a key factor to come and join us. So very excited.
Thanks so much for coming. Why don't you take it away for us?
All right, I will. Then let me share my screen so that you will be looking at something prettier than my face. There we go. All right, here we go. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for attending. We're very happy to be here with you. I'm going to be speaking about Loreto, one of our great destinations in Baja California Sur, the south part of the Baja Peninsula in Mexico. In Loreto, we value and protect the gifts of nature, and we love to share them with you. Hang on. We love travelers with the spirit of exploration. Those on an expedition on life will find Loreto as part of their journey. And travelers who appreciate the environment and contribute to its preservation will feel at home. These statements are very important for us because we do want people that want to see life, marine life, and nature on a very pristine stage of conservation, and those who appreciate that and are looking to discover and explore places with very different brands and way of life as the one you guys have and experience up in Canada. So those travelers will really enjoy being in Loreto and getting to know the culture, the people, the heritage of that culture, of this very particular part of Mexico. Still has a strong Mexican flavor, but with a twist of an oasis, desert, and Sierra destination. So Loreto, as I mentioned, is the half south portion of the peninsula, and Loreto is right in the middle on the Gulf of California side. We have flights from Calgary seasonally, and it will run this year until the end of April with WestJet. We've been having these flights for quite a few years, and it's been very successful, and it's easy flight, straightforward to Loreto, so that gets tourists on our doorstep on a very convenient way. We also have flights from San Francisco seasonal on the winter, LAX all year round. We also have a flight from Southern California on the Tijuana-San Diego border with a bridge that is called Cross Border Express, which basically what that is that people staying in San Diego goes across a bridge that connects the San Diego with Tijuana airport. So you don't have to go through any of the gates or anything. You go direct to the airport, and it's very convenient. And we also have flights from Phoenix and Dallas with American Airlines. So the experiences we have for you guys in Loreto. Loreto is a very small community, 18,000 inhabitants. So everybody knows each other. Everybody is welcoming to our visitors. And we have the largest coastline of any state in Mexico, and the coastlines of Baja California Sur are the equivalent of those from California all the way to Portland in the US. So it's a very long coastline. So you can go to places where you can very much be the only ones enjoying that beach at that time. Sailing, navigating the Gulf of California is also one of our main activities throughout the year. And the islands of Loreto, which are 5 islands, we have Coronados Island, Carmen Island, Danzante, Montserrat, and Catalana. So these 5 islands are part of the Loreto Marine National Park, and it's also a UNESCO heritage site. So we highly protect our nature and our resources, and we understand that you in Canada have the same appreciation and sense of protecting your resources. So that's why we think we can have a good match with you and people who appreciate and wants to protect and enhance these beauties will like to be here. So again, sailing the waters or just on a catamaran and going from bay to bay is just an amazing experience that could be done throughout the year, all year round. As I mentioned earlier, we have plenty of beach, plenty of places to unwind, to relax, to enjoy a swim. This is like a gigantic pool. Therefore, we rarely have any waves and very soft, if any, current. So it's great for children or people with some mobility challenges. They will really love it to swim here because it's really easy and it's very shallow water. As you can see, is white sand and turquoise waters, and you walk for meters and water won't go above your waist. So you can really relax and enjoy a swim here. As I mentioned, many of our spaces are wide open, vast spaces where you will be in touch with nature and with very few other people around. So social distancing has been a very natural way of life in these regions for the locals. And that's why we strongly believe those who appreciate nature will feel at home here. Scuba diving and snorkeling are also a great activity, mainly from June to December. Warm water on the Gulf of California, which Jacques Cousteau called the cream of the world. Loreto has around more than 200 diving sites within the islands and the region of Loreto. So there's a lot to look at, a lot to see, and a lot to enjoy. So diving and snorkeling are a must-do while on the area. As you can see, the rich biodiversity of the Gulf of California, that's what got the name for the aquarium of the world, and we still have it. So we very much invite you to consider coming down here for a great experience and close encounters with beautiful sea life. Kayaking is also a big thing. People from all over the world come to do kayaking to Loreto because the waters of Loreto offer a variety of options, either for those who have never done kayaking for beginners, you can do it on a day trip, or those who are very experienced kayakers find Loreto as Disneyland because you can do island hopping from one beach to another. One day you set the camp there, then the next day you take everything with you to you don't leave anything and go to the next beach on your cruising while cruising on your kayak. And this is open water, but as you can see, really pretty. So kayaking is another great adventure within the Loreto region. Blue whales are at midst of the blue whale season right now, which is from December to April. And the blue whale visits the waters of the Bay of Loreto every year to reproduce, to give birth, to nurture their calves. And this is a very shy animal, so the encounter is done with very strong regulations on behalf of the federal government of Mexico to protect both the species and our visitors. So all of the captains that do the tours to the whale watching sites have been received extensive training, and they have a special permit in order to be able to offer these services. So we highly recommend that on all the activities and experiences that you guys consider for you or your clients, work with professional operators, because they will give you the guarantees that the species and the areas will be protected and they will be enjoyed properly, but also the security and safety of our visitors. So whale watching, again, is an extraordinary experience. We recommend also for you to consider at least 2 days of going out on the ocean. Again, this is wildlife. It changes every day. But to get a beautiful experience out on the water, we recommend at least to do it twice during your time in Loreto. Sometimes you encounter another mammals, marine mammals, while looking at the whales, like dolphins or fin whales, which are very popular also on this region, and they are a permanent resident. They stay throughout the year. So it's very common to see both the blue whale and the fin whale, and also dolphins. So this experience is half of the day you spend out, and it's really pretty. I've done it. I do it every year, and I never get tired of doing it, and I cannot wait to go again and do it every so often. As you can see, you see the whale from a distance. You don't follow the whale. You have to be very careful not to disturb their habitat, and they respond very positively to that. There's a blue whale with a calf right here swimming. They teach them up to come up to the surface and breathe, and then they start their journey back all the way to Alaska for the rest of the year. We can also have another close encounter with great whales nearby Loreto. About 2 hours from Loreto, we have Magdalena Bay, where the great whales come to do the same, to give birth to calves, to reproduce, and to gain weight. And this whale is the friendliest of them all. They sometimes come close to the boat, as you can see on the picture, and they look at you, and they're very playful. So this is another experience with a different variety. In Baja California Sur, we have every year we receive the blue whales in Loreto, the gray whales on the coast of the Pacific in Magdalena Bay, San Ignacio Lagoon, and Ojo de Liebre Lagoon in Guerrero Negro. And also in Los Cabos, we get the humpback whale. And throughout the Gulf of California, we also have the fin whale. And in La Paz, we have the whale shark. So from December to April, you can do all these amazing experiences with whales like you will never do anywhere else in the world. We've done a research with whale organizations to try to find out in which other part of the world you can encounter all of these whales in very close proximity, and there is not such a place. So we highly encourage you to consider exploring and coming to Baja to live this wonderful experience, especially because the flight from Calgary is pretty much on the same seasonality as the whales come. We also, Baja has been always known to be a great sport fishing destination, and we can drag to have 365 days of sport fishing. Again, we have the waters of the Gulf of California or the waters of the Pacific on one side or the other. So depending on what you guys want to catch, what experience you want to have, we will tell you when to come and where to go to do so. So we have the big pelagics, like the one on the picture, which is a mahi-mahi, dolphin fish, or dorado, as we call it. And we have the marlins, we have wahoo, we have tuna, yellowfins, we have jurel, which is also the yellowtail. So there's fish all over the year, all over the place. And so Baja California Sur is very well known for sport fishing, and Loreto is no exception for that. so we can fish 365 days a year. And is very popular also with the foreigners, Canadians, and mainland people from Mexico come to this region to fish. Another great activity within the destination nearby Loreto are a few sites where you can do cave paintings, where you can view cave paintings. And these are at least 1 day trips to very remote locations where the ancient Californians will leave their vision of life and the animals they interacted with, the way they saw their place on Earth at that time. And these cave paintings are carbon dated, and they came out with being at least 7,500 years of age, which makes the oldest cave paintings in the continent. And we have a few places nearby Loreto where you can experience that. That's why I mentioned earlier that Loreto is a place where you can join a lot of water activity. We're not per se a beach sun destination, even though we have beach and sun, but what you do on the water is much better than just sitting on a beach and getting margaritas from a bar. We don't, I mean, you can do it, but you rather do and explore much more than just that. You can enjoy a beautiful day on one of the islands and just relax there and have a great experience. And then the next day you can sit on a pool and sip a margarita. But the outdoors activity is what we offer. And you can have a combination of both water activities, coming on the Sierra range to do cave painting, hikings, visiting the missions, which you have a great combination of history, culture, and soft adventure. And this is the case with cave paintings. You can either walk or do a hike to the sites or go on a mule where the rancheros will be guiding you. All of these places are also protected and are natural protected areas, and also protected by our National History Institute, as cave paintings are part of our heritage, and they are also, some of the sites are UNESCO heritage site for the whole world. As you can see, the caves are large, and the paintings are also very interesting to see and try to wonder what these people, how these people were able to paint the walls of the ceiling of a cave, and they still remain very visible. I mean, after these many years and being exposed wide open to the elements. So it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. And on top of that, then we have the modern witness of people that came to this region with the faith, the Christian faith, as the missions started in Loreto. That's the first mission, Our Lady of Loreto, in 1697. And you can see, as in the picture, the mission of San Javier, which is about an hour up north, up west from Loreto on the Sierra Range in the middle of nowhere. And these are still in working order. You can still visit the church and see the place. And there's a small museum outside and a larger museum next to the mission of Loreto, and witness and just wonder how these guys were able to build this in the middle of nowhere with very little resources, being in the middle of a desert. So this is a wonderful immersion of the recent history of our culture. And this is another mission in San Ignacio. As you can see, is surrounded by a palm tree in the middle of a very beautiful oasis. And it's just being there is a wonderful experience. A lot of bird watching, a lot of outdoor activities is what you're going to get. Bird watching is also a year-round activity that we promote. We have migratory birds and we have resident birds. The ones on the picture are the blue-footed boobies, which many people only think they live in the Galapagos. Well, we have them in Loreto as well and around the region. We have the roadrunners, pelicans, and many birds to see. Hiking, as I mentioned earlier, is a great way to get to know the area. You can do hiking on places where you're looking at the sea and still having a wonderful view of the desert, or just by the sea and being at very uplifting places where you can wander around. And then surfing. Surfing is a great activity on the summer. We've got the second longest wave in the world in San Juanico Bay, also known as Scorpio Bay by the California surfing community. So this is a great activity to do in Loreto. You have the longest wave, therefore people who is just learning to surf, they will have a blast, or those very experienced surfers will really enjoy it as well. You can do longboard, shortboard, and everything in the middle. So surfing, if you want to try it out, this will be a great place to do. Here's the same wave, San Juanico. And also road trips. Loreto is the best place to start your road trip and then come back to it to go back home. So if you guys are into road trips, this will be a great place to do so, because you can cover a lot of ground, go through valleys of cacti, and this beautiful forest of cacti basically on a desert, and then go up on the Sierra Range and look at different type of vegetation, different type of birds, and running to the small rancho communities where you can see how these people that their families have lived there for centuries survive in the middle of nowhere, where you think the resources are very scarce. Well, they are, but then how you find out, what you find out, their way of life is so healthy, and they are very welcoming to visitors, and they're really enjoying to show you how they live and what they do. Golf, for those who like the links, Loreto offers two magnificent golf courses. This one on the picture is the Danzante Bay. Beautiful, beautiful place, challenging. You go uphill, downhill in the desert, close to the water. So it's a beautiful challenge golf course. It's the newest of the two. So it's highly recommended for those who like it. And then we have gastronomy. The main player, the main actor of the gastronomy around this region has to do with seafood, as you can see on the picture. Those are clams. We call it chocolata clam, as the name, as the outside of the clam shell resembles the color of chocolate, but instead of an E at the end, we use an A. So it's chocolata. And you can have it raw, you can have it cooked with cheese, you can have it broiled on stones with fire. So there are many ways to cook it, and you will really love the taste of how the locals eat their food. So there's different seasons of all these things we've been talking about. We have the surfing on the summer, fall, and a bit of the winter, and then diving year-round, kayaking, and fishing, all of them year-round, as well as sailing. Hiking and camping, we recommend to avoid the summer because of the heat. And then doing mission trails or photography trails, and also bird watching, we can do it year-round. And for marine mammal viewings, almost year-round, but the fall is not that great. Cave paintings, again, because of the summer and the weather, we'd recommend to do it on the winter and spring. And then in this map, you guys will be able to see all of the activities, how do they spread around this region. And we're packed of activities. We have a lot of things to do around the year and around these places. And the hub to do all that will be Loreto. We have an international airport in Loreto, and therefore from there you can move around and then come back and go home. Where to stay? We've got a nice blend of different accommodations, having 5 stars and 4-star hotels. also having small boutique lounges operated by their owners, which generally have 10, 12, 15 rooms. The smallest of them all have 4 rooms. So these are really nice places to stay because most of them are within downtown Loreto. Therefore, you're walking distance for everything else, either the restaurants, the pier where you're going to go into the islands, or where you're going to get the shuttle to go to, or the transportation to go to the Sierra. So all of the activities will be around Loreto downtown, and this is a very small community again, so you can blend in with the locals. There's a large community of expats from both Canadians and the US, and you get to mingle with them because they live there most of the year. So it's where to stay is mostly small properties, again, run by their owners, and very welcoming, very cozy, very conveniently located. So where to stay is part of the experience of unknown brands, but on a very beautiful destination. So we came up, well, the destination came up with a program of a 1-week takeover, since the flight from Calgary is every Saturday. So you can have a week of exploration, a week of relaxing, a week of good gastronomy, and blending in with the Mexican local community. So you have a 1-week takeover. If you want to stay on a property and take over the property just for your group, you can do that. As I mentioned, the smallest of the property has only 4 rooms. I'll show you a little picture of that property, and has a pool and a jacuzzi, but the rest of the properties that participate on these programs offer very similar accommodations. So this is very convenient if you want to bring a large family. So they are the only ones within the property for that week taking over, or there's a group of friends, or if you're doing a group of divers, or you want to bring down photographers that want to explore, they will be the only ones within the property if you ask for the 1-week takeover of any of these properties. We have all of the protocols for the COVID testing in place. All of our operators, hotels, restaurants, everyone involved in tourism in Baja California Sur, the whole state, we all work under one protocol, which was established by the Mexican federal government. It's called Punto Limpio. So we all work under the same criteria, the same protocols, the same evaluation to make sure that we're travel safe. That's why we got the safe travels seals from the World Travel Tourism Council, and we guarantee that you will be safe while staying in Loreto, going on the tours, eating at restaurants, using transportation, the airport, and all over the place. So you can feel very sure that you will be very well taken care of, also on the protocols measures. Loreto, the airport is only 5 minutes away from downtown, and there are 3 facilities in town to do the COVID test if you are required to have one before entering your country, which we understand that you guys in Canada have to take the test once you go back, and if you are positive, then you'd have to take some quarantine. Other than that, is on good faith basis, which makes it really easy for you guys and your clients to come to Mexico and go back safe. That's pretty much what we have, guys, for you today. Thank you for attending, for your interest on our destination. And we're open for any questions, comments, anything that you guys would like to address our way.
All right, thank you so much, Jesus. That was an amazing presentation, especially to see, the opportunities and experiences that there are with the nature and the environment. So that was really, really an awesome presentation. Yeah, just a reminder, if you guys have any questions, to put them into the chat question and answer box. I see we have a couple regarding the safety from the road tripping experience you mentioned, and just general safety for the guided tours, if that's recommended, if you want to address that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me. The first question is about the road trip, right?
Yeah, safe. Is it safe to drive around the area? The area
Correct.
you were mentioning. Yeah.
It is very safe to drive around the area. Absolutely. Driving is the same as in Canada. Pretty much the same rules apply, exactly the same rules apply. This is most of the driving around Loreto is a two-lane driveway. I mean, one way each direction. And the only recommendation we would like you guys to keep in mind is to drive during daytime. The only reason for that being is that like you guys have elk or deer or bears, we have cows. So you might run into cows every so often. And at night, it's very easy to look or to see a cow, especially when the back is towards you. If their head is towards you, you can see the eyes, but other than that, is tough. So these are not highways or speedways, so very moderate speed, but that will be our only recommendation. Other than that, it's very safe to drive. And as a matter of fact, I just drove from Loreto back to La Paz on Sunday, and you see a lot of motorhomes, a lot of people on their trucks going around. I will also like to say that even if you go off road to any off-road trail that you find, you will never get lost because you are between two oceans. So either you go to the Pacific or to the Gulf of California, and the same road you used, you go back to the main road that will connect you actually all the way to Canada. And so it's no way to get lost. And if anything happens to you on the road, most of the locals are very handy, very welcoming to help you and to support you. The only other recommendation is make sure that you always have enough gas, because gas stations, while in Loreto, there's not a shortage of them, but you will have a gas station if you go either to La Paz or so, probably about every hour and a half, just to make sure that you have enough gas to drive hour and a half.
Okay, good recommendations. Good things to note for everyone.
Yeah.
Another question we have is from Anne. She would like to know if you had in mind some kayak guided tours around Loreto Islands for multi-day expeditions, multi-day trips. So yeah.
That is correct. We do have operators that offer precisely those type of services. So we will love to share those contacts with you. And these are professional operators that will set everything up for you. They do it every year. And absolutely, we will share them with you. We're writing notes so that we can get back to you and provide you that information.
Okay, great. Someone else is asking just how to reach out to you directly. Maybe, I'm not sure what Susie wants to do, but ask more questions maybe, or how they can just reach out to you and connect, I guess.
I'm gonna add to the chat 2 emails, my email and Luz Maria Cepeda, who's also here with us today. She is our commercial director. So you can send any questions you have our way, and we will be very happy to help you. Remember, we as a tourism board, that's our job. So we wanna help you guys, be your hands here, try to answer any questions that you might have when putting together a itinerary or a trip. If you want to find out if something is feasible or doable or possible, we will be very happy to do so. And Luzma just wrote down the 2 emails. Thank you, Luzma. And also, if you have any questions regarding any place in Baja, feel free to contact us. We are on the same side of the table that you guys are, and we greatly appreciate all of the help that you give us to send people our way, and we guarantee you that your clients will be in good hands and well taken care of.
Great, awesome. Yeah, I saw Luz just put that in the chat. Another question we have is, how easy would you say is it to organize a tour that includes Loreto Islands and Santo Espirito near La Paz?
Espiritu Santo. All right, well, La Paz is about 4.5 hours drive south from Loreto. and Isla Espiritu Santo will be an hour navigation time from La Paz. So yeah, you can include a visit to Isla Espiritu Santo, either if you drive down, or you can charter a boat and do the islands of Loreto by sea and then come down to Isla Espiritu Santo. And if you don't want to do the sailing back or navigating back, you can drive back to Loreto. I mean, to La Paz. Yeah, from La Paz to Loreto to catch your plane if you're flying back to Canada.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I see Luzma just answered in the chat, but maybe you can just say it for the agents who aren't able to read through the chat about the PCR tests available in Loreto, because you mentioned the antigen.
Yeah, they are both available in Loreto, the antigen and the PCR. The PCR will cost you, oh, I just did a PCR about 10 days ago, and I paid around 110 Canadian, around there. Each of the places have their own prices, but we can share those with you later on. And yes, they are available within Loreto.
Perfect. So you gave us a breakdown of the accommodations, the multiple options, but I wanted to ask, is there Airbnbs available for people who want to stay in Airbnbs, or?
Yes, there are Airbnbs available. Yeah, they are.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll get any last questions in. If anyone has them, make sure to put them in the question box. But for now, Jesús, I'll just give you a final word of what you'd like to say to travel agents out there as we're looking forward in travel. And after seeing this wonderful presentation, kind of a summation of what you want to say to everyone.
Sure. I think we have another question to address, Megan, if I may, is how long does it take to get to the Cape Art from Loreto? All right. There are several options of cave paintings. One is very near Loreto, which will be a day trip hiking on the Sierra. So it will be probably about 6 hours back and forth. There's another really good option, which is about near Mulegé, which is a town about an hour north from Loreto. And that will also be a day trip, but it will take you probably 7 to 8 hours to go back and come back to Loreto. That experience is called San Borjita. It's a cave. It's one of the caves. Well, the cave that you saw on the picture of the presentation. So every time I go there, I lay on the ground. I just move some rocks, put my jacket or my backpack, and I lay it on the ground and just keep looking and staring at this, because there are so many paintings, one on top of another, and depending on the light, you see one thing, and if you move, you see another thing. So you just wander there for hours on end as to what drove these guys to do that, and how did they do it without any of the things that we know nowadays, and they are still fresh paintings there. And that's San Borjita. And then if you want to go for the holy grail of cave paintings, it's San Francisco de la Sierra. And San Francisco de la Sierra is a UNESCO site, is part of Reserva del Vizcaíno. And you get to the campsite, Buenaventura, on the community there of San Francisco de la Sierra, and there you depart early in the morning, where they will have the meals ready for you to bring everything, because you need to set a camp down on the canyon. And it's about 5 hours, either walking or on the mule, to get down to the canyon to set up your camp. And the stargazing there is just amazing. And you are in the middle of nowhere. No, obviously no signal of anything, but they have radio, so you're fine. And then the next day, you walk for about an hour and a half to the sites where the different caves are. One of them is very long, it's about 100-meter long, and there's thousands of paintings, different paintings throughout. So you can spend a whole morning there just looking at just that one site And nearby, there are 3 or 4 sites. So you can do 2 days down there, visiting different sites and then coming back up. And that will get, I mean, at least 4 days to do that. From Loreto, driving there and then coming back, 5, at least, well, yeah, 4 to 5 days to do just that. But the amazing, I mean, the experience is just mind-blowing, amazing. And the rancheros will cook for you, or you cook for you on wood fire, and you can really disconnect from even from yourself.
Wow, that really sounds amazing. The way you described looking up at the paintings, and yeah, it sounds like a really great, you know, you can break it up and see all of the beautiful painting and the art. So that's really cool. Okay, so do we want to just mention the prize before we go? And then you can say a final word and yeah, unless any agents want to add any more questions.
Yeah, of course. I will stop if I see another question coming on the chat. Well, yeah, we have a prize for you guys, for those who attended the whole seminar from beginning to end. And we will want to have you down here in Loreto. We will have a hotel ready for you for 2 people. We will also be giving you, this hotel will offer you a small breakfast in the morning, coffee and fruit and some bread and stuff. And then we will also include a dinner every day for 2 and an activity every day for 2. So you will really get to know the destination, experience the destination, and we will love you, whomever wins and comes down. We will love for you to share your stories on our next webinar with Travelweek and Megan and Annie, so that you speak on first person what you think of the destination, more so than what I could say. I mean, I've done all of it and I love it and I want to keep doing it, but it's better when it's someone else besides me.
Yeah, so we will reach out to one of those agents via email. I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. Jesus, thank you for a wonderful presentation. I'm ready to get down to Loreto right now.
All right.
And stay tuned. If you have any additional questions, you can reach out via Luzma or Jesus's email, or email us at webinars@travelweek.ca. Luzma, do you have any final words? Would you like to say something?
Well, I just wanted to thank you all for being here. We'll be more than excited to have you visiting very soon. And great presentation, Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you. Anne is asking us if I would like to get in touch with you as a journalist for a project to be done this spring. Yeah, by all means, Anne will be more than happy to entertain and to have you down here to help us get the word out for the French-speaking Canadians. My last words will be, remember, we have a direct flight from Calgary, seasonal from November to April, is every Saturday with WestJet. There are a lot of similarities between Canadians and Loretanos because we appreciate nature. We want to preserve nature. We might have similar species like whales, but in the very different premises. It's very safe to come down. It's a small population with very little COVID cases throughout the whole pandemic. Everybody knows each other. They are welcoming visitors, and this will be a location where you will be in very wide open spaces with very small contact with others, but at the same time you will get to mingle and get to know the locals. You will do everything the locals do. You will eat where they eat. You will walk the malecon, which is the broad walk of town. You will go to the square. You will see children playing. If you bring children, they will get to play with the local children on the afternoon on the plazuela. So it's that type of a destination that you can really blend in and get a really strong feel and taste of Mexico.
Great. And one more question just in the chat. Someone's asking, English is spoken fluently there. Right?
Correct.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much again. It was so nice to have you on to talk about the beauty of the destination. It sounds very welcome. So agents, you better get your clients on it. And stay tuned for more Travel Week webinars and updates with travelweek.ca. And we'll see you all very soon. Thanks again.
Thank
Bye.
you, Luzma. Thank you, Luzma.